When Target caves into this, then it says that the moment you threaten the employees of even a very large corporation, you get to control its policies. This is economic terrorism, literally terrorism, creating fear among the workers and forcing the corporations to sell the things you want and not sell the things you don't. So
a lot of you have sent me this thought-provoking piece, and the first thing that I had to do was to see if it's satire or not. And it turns out that it's not satire. It turns out that it's actually a company, and it's selling various products like t-shirts. And they have a slight ideological bent. And you can tell this from the title, which seems to have gone viral in some Twitter circles. And the title is that anti-woke economic terrorists have now wiped out $5 trillion in stock value. I had to use the most dangerous software to our democracy in order to translate this. I had to use ChatGPT. And it told me that what they are complaining about is called the free market. And I'm wondering, like, why don't you just use the word free market then? It's something that most people understand. Like, why do you have to be so pretentious with your titling? Why do you have to use such big boy words? But all jokes aside, this is a tactic that people on the left have been doing since the Cold War, which is to ascribe new meaning to already existent words. Like when you use the word terrorism, in most people's minds is, the Nice attacks, something that involves loss of human life. But now the word seems to have been changed to just not giving a multi-million-dollar corporation your money. So if you decide not to buy a product, then you are, I guess, the same like the people who did the Nice attacks. That is like the logic and the mentality of anti-capitalist people. And as you can see, luckily, this website has comment section. And this is something that's missing from most of the internet because all publications like CNN, MSNBC, The Guardian, they give their comment sections disabilities because they are afraid of what the common man has to say. And the common man, is making very clearly with what they have to say about such articles, right? And you can see here, Mr. Misser is saying that it's the free market, right? How am I a terrorist for not buying shitty products? Like this is pretty much what's going on. But okay, let's read the thought-provoking article, which says that the anti-wokes are celebrating yet another dubious victory as new data shows that global investments in ethical companies have nosedived by nearly $5 trillion. So in a way, they are very concerned with what the anti-woke are doing because I guess they're talking against ESG. But in the other phrase, they're calling it a dubious victory. So which one is it? Like, if it's a dubious victory, why are you being afraid of it? Like, if you think that the ESG isn't under threat by anti-woke activists, why are you taking their victory seriously? And if you do think it's a threat, then why are you saying it's dubious? This is a tactic that, again, I have seen leftist politicians use, especially the ones that do not want to do debates, which is the overwhelming number of them. And the tactic is to ridicule the opponent, make the opponent seem like a buffoon, but at the same time make the opponent seem like he's the most dangerous thing in existence. And they seem to have the ability of holding two conflicting ideas at the same time. I mean, it's quite astonishing, and I know why they do it, is because if the person is a buffoon, if the person is absolutely ridiculous, then there is no merit to debate them. But at the same time, if the person is dangerous, you have to do something about them. And you can notice how skillfully activists on the left are using language and concepts in order to try and push people towards the solution that if they were to express it, it would be a violation of TOS. So anyway, the repercussion of the anti-ESG downturn has not been felt uniformly. Investors of color bear a disproportional heavy burden as they are more likely than white folks to invest in companies aligned with ethical and sustainable practices. Well, yeah, so I suppose those investors of color now have a reason to be upset and angry at the people who told them to invest into failing businesses. I never told anyone to invest in a failing business, by the way. Did you? Did you tell them to invest in a failing business? Well, if you told them to invest in a failing business, I do see why you now feel a responsibility to divert blame to other people. But here on the right, and it's not just like on the political YouTube sphere, but even with right-wing politicians, I haven't heard anyone telling minorities to invest in failing businesses. So what they are trying to do is to deflect blame, right? It's not the financial advisors that told them to do this investment. No. It's the people who do not want to purchase from those failing businesses. It's the free market. The free market. They didn't do anything. And also, there's a lot of assumptions to claim that the ESG is actually beneficial for the planet. When you see tobacco companies have a higher ESG than Tesla. Right? So, just because you say something is good doesn't necessarily mean that it is. Like, many people just disagree with the concept that ESG is actually good for the environment. In fact, like the proponents for the ESG are saying that, oh, well, it seems that a lot of companies are just doing the talk, but they're not actually doing anything. So they're just tinkering enough in order to make it seem like they're environmental friendly to get that high ESG, but in reality, they're not. So what do you do with those people? Like people who genuinely do not believe, like you can have an individual that's for the environment and wants to help the planet, but thinks that ESG isn't the way to do it. What do you do with him then? Do you force him to donate the money for a cause that he doesn't think is going to work? So anyway, we have here the fact that, let's put the blame where it is. Conservative lawmakers, driven by an irrational culture of anti-woke hysteria, have actively taken measures to resist the incorporation of ESG principles into business and investing. I love how they're saying it's an anti-woke hysteria. In case you haven't looked, hysteria is on both sides. Like you have the January 6th hysteria, you have hysteria on the left where AOC was claiming that Ted Cruz is a Hassashin. He's a Hassashin. You know, I mean, what more can I say? The American politics are hysterical in nature. I mean, look at the squad, how they speak. No, seriously, just go on a video where you have AOC or any of the other members of the squad where they speak passionately. Do you know what their mannerisms remind me of? Evangelical preachers. Where they do the jutsu, you know? Like most politicians don't do that. And don't tell me that, oh, it's a speech done out of passion. Like, I will believe AOC does a speech out of passion when I see her debating a right-winger. I think, like, up till this day, it hasn't happened once. The only time it was about to happen is when Ben Shapiro actually challenged her to a debate, and she equated that to catcalling. So apparently the anti-woke hysteria has its origins on 4chan and X. So you're telling me that when Bud Light makes a commercial and it says something like, sorry, the vice president of sales in Bud Light says that our customers are fratty and out of touch. And then when those customers who were insulted choose not to buy the product, you think 4chan is responsible for that? I don't know, like, look, I know that the free market is difficult to understand. I know it's hard, but people don't like to be insulted. They genuinely don't. Like if I go to a shop and they insult, I don't even care if the insult is true or not. Like, even if they say the truth, it's not their place. They're a company and they're there to sell a product. If they're going to push things that I disagree with, if they're going to flat out insult me, why should I give them my money? Like, they're not entitled to it. It's my cash. And I love the fact that there are activists and ideologues out there who are positively fuming that I choose not to give my cash away. I mean, look at this. You know, bitter young males, often incels. Yeah, why do you want their money anyway? Why do you want their money to begin with? If your companies are so sacred and holy and free of sin and, you know, everything right-wingers does is icky, Why do you want their cash? They're bad people, aren't they? Surely you can't sleep at night knowing you have their money. Also, like the buzzwords, right? Like alt-right. When's the last time anyone called themselves that? Like, unironically, I do live on Twitter, or on X, as they call it. I haven't seen a single person calling themselves alt-right. But anyway, this is the funniest part. Like, this is what really amused me. Economic thinkers like Hasan Piker. So you're talking about terrorism here, and you're giving me an example of a person that got banned from Twitch for saying that America deserved 9/11. You know, the thing that was trending on TikTok last month among the left were people that weren't pro-Israeli, let's put it like this. People that were reading Osama's letter and they were glorifying it. Right, so would it be fair to me to say that maybe some of those people, like a number of them, may have got ideas from glorifying that letter by watching, I don't know, modern economists like Hasan Piker, which got banned from Twitch for saying something similar? Why are you platforming? Why are you platforming a person known to say those things? Would I make a good leftist? I don't know, I think I need to fake a little bit more outrage. But no, like, you know, I do agree. Hasan Piker, amazing economist. I mean, absolutely amazing. He fights for the planet side with his multi-million-dollar mansion. How much carbon do you think is... Why does a human being need so much living space? If all of us were to live like Hasan Piker, would that be better or worse for the planet? Like, literally, all of us, every one of us would have a mansion like Hasan. Everyone would have the same numbers of cars like Hasan. Would that make for a better world? When it comes for the environment, I mean, right? Like, I need to specify. Because it would make for a better world, yes. But would it be better for the environment or worse? I do agree that Hasan Piker is a great economist. No, like, he knows how to milk the fools. Like, unironically, he knows how to milk them. Like, if you manage to live in a multi-million-dollar mansion by tricking people that you're fighting for the planet side, you are a great economist. Like, objectively speaking, I'm sorry. Like, if I was to say that he isn't, I would be lying. Like, he knows how to manage his finances. I remember he was in a controversy where he didn't pay an editor. I mean, he's a very shrewd businessman. Like, I, as a capitalist, look at Hasan Piker with envy and jealousy. I'm not kidding. Like, I want to be like him. I want to have his success. So, yes, no, I do agree. This is the thought-provoking piece of the article. It's like, is Hasan Piker a great economist? The answer is absolutely yes. Like, Hasan Piker does absolutely nothing wrong. Like if you want to be rich and you want to take advantage of subscribers, that's how you do it. 100%. Just watch Hasan Piker every day and then emulate what he does. Don't listen to what he says, okay? Like, what he says doesn't matter. What he does, what he buys, what he purchases, like, you need to be like that, and then you'll be successful. And by the way, talking about incels, if you go on YouTube and you search for the Brofessor, you will see some very interesting takes that Hasan Piker used to have back in the day when he was giving dating advice. I think Andrew Tate would have a lot to learn from the Professor. And ironically, like, go look that up on YouTube. Go look at the Professor, right? Like, Professor. Yeah. Very beautiful article. I love it. I hope they write more. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.